What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
So we're doing a two for the night. We got a two for the night. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. What's your name?
I'm Dena Dickerson.
Dena Dickerson.
Timothy Lanier.
Timothy Lanier. So I want you to listen up because we got some community conversation that we're gonna talk about tonight from a couple of organizations and from themselves. Hey, just stay tuned. We're gonna get ready. So, y'all know I always have my water. Gotta have my water. Let me see if I can turn mine on, see how to get there. You put it back in? All right, we got it. All right. So now, Dena,
Yes.
I've been knowing you for quite some time now, a few years. And we worked on a bunch of projects. I think we need to clear that up.
My go-to guy.
We worked on a few projects together, and we made a lot of great progress in the community. I want to know, what area of town are you from? Or where are you from?
I know I'm telling I'm from Birmingham, right? Just the city itself.
Okay.
I came up in Islington, in my heydays and things of that nature. So, but I've been all over the place doing
Okay.
good and bad.
What high school did you go to?
I went out.
Okay, so you're a Huffman girl. Sorry to hear that. Clear it off there. Oh, you could. Tim, what high school did you go to?
Well, I went to what that school called? I believe it's Woodlawn Conference.
Did you hear that?
I believe that's what it is.
Woodlawn in the house. Y'all
Yeah.
already know.
I mean,
Y'all know who run the week around here.
I mean,
Watch out.
The best alumni week in the city.
The city.
Oh my.
And we think about going national, but we know.
Yeah, they gave us the key to the city last year.
I was wondering.
Oh yeah. I mean, you might as well. We bring millions of dollars every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Woodlawn
Woodlawn
girl.
High School.
Shout out to Woodlawn Alumni Association.
No
that
doubt,
they make it
no
happen.
doubt, No doubt.
Okay. So now,
I thought about the Thunder Herds, but y'all seem to be trying to get them a run
No.
for their money here and there.
we don't get nobody no run.
No, we don't have to run out.
We got the money.
We do.
Yeah, we got the money. We ain't got to get nobody no
I
money.
mean, we boss.
It's Woodlawn.
Yeah.
That Woodlawn.
So, can you tell me just a little bit about OAA?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the short version.
Give me the short
'cause
version.
I normally run the history of us, right?
Well, I mean, people need to know what it's about, because I'm gonna tell you, when I mentioned to the mayor that OAA was coming, he said, "Oh man, they do their thing." He was like, "Man, I love them." So he's very impressed with OAA, really, in the work that's being done. So give me the short version, whatever version you want to give.
Short version is that I've been home 13 years. And 2 years after me coming home, I was invited to a luncheon by our founder, Ms. Deborah Daniels, who at that time was working for the Prison Fellowship.
Shout out to Ms. Deborah Davis.
Yes, indeed. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be following my life path, which is helping people. And I went to the luncheon, and it was me and 5 other persons that had been touched by the criminal justice system, 5 men actually. And her vision was, where were the formerly incarcerated people, and why weren't we helping others? And being a person in long-term recovery, I understood that concept. Like, why don't we reach back, help somebody that's going through what we've gone through? And at that time, it was pretty much navigating through some of the challenges and barriers to post-incarceration just to move our life forward. And so 11 years ago, we started a supportive community for formerly incarcerated people and their family members, and then it's broadened out to supporters as well, to help each other, mentor, life coach. Started going inside the prison about a year and a half after we started, just to let people know that we were out here. There was a place, because reentry didn't look like it looked now. There was a place that they belonged. They didn't have to worry about being ostracized or judged. And we were connecting them to resources and letting them know the information that was truly available to them, because we had actually, it was tried and tested, because we had been there and done that, if you will. And a year and a half after that, we birthed our youth program, which was the Youth Career Readiness Initiative. In 2017, we adopted Titusville as our community. And in 2019, the young men that we were working with renamed and rebranded themselves the Heroes in the Hood. meaning that those young men 13 to 18 that's most vulnerable, that's at risk, high risk, most of them, to incarceration of the graveyard. Just working with them, meeting them where they are, speaking and talking, speaking life into them, and helping them work through some of the trauma that they experience as young men. Uh, Connecting them to coaches and mentors and people as yourself that I've called 1,000 times over in the middle of the night, the wee hours, anytime during the day, and say, hey man, I need a haircut for one of these young boys in order to boost their esteem, because a lot of them are coming from impoverished communities and understanding what people go through in that space. And so we've been running that since 2019, starting in 2017 and 2019. Then we partner with the U.S. Attorney's Office. All of this is just being a part of the solution and just reaching out to people saying, hey, we're formerly incarcerated people. We just want to help folks in our community. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Shift the trajectories, reduce the crime and the recidivism itself, and restore our communities that's broken. And then 2018, we partnered with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Atlanta, Georgia. And here, as I sit, we're in 2 states and 6 cities: Albany, Georgia; Savannah, Georgia; Atlanta, Georgia; Tuscaloosa, Alabama; Gadsden, Alabama; and Birmingham, which is home. And so we've been here since 2014, and we broaden programming. Of course, we are working with the Violence Intervention and Prevention Partners, coupled with UAB Hospital, Jefferson County Health Department, as well as the city of Birmingham, just to slow the violence down. Even if we don't stop it, at least see the numbers themselves go down, which pretty much is what brings us here, and me, myself, and Brother Tim here today, just to have a community conversation, centered around certain issues and things that people aren't talking about in a way of solution, if you will, and that it really takes all of us. And so I'll yield right there, and that brings us here. 4 programs, 2 states. Just wanting to do our part and bring solutions.
And so this is a baby of yours that you took on after you came home.
Yeah, like fresh at home.
Right.
Like I needed a job. I was working at a warehouse while I was incarcerated, making $7.25 an hour. I did not know how people was living off of $7. It was like, man, and all I knew is I ain't going back to jail.
Right.
Right. And I knew that I was going to give back to my community. I didn't know how or anything like that. So I started volunteering at 2 women drug rehabs where they have their children as they're going through treatment. And I did that for 3 consecutive years. And then I got a job at the firehouse shelter, and I started working in the homeless communities. And so for me, my higher power, which is God, he sort of kind of just set the stage for me to be a servant, because that's all I really wanted to do. And that was, I think, the recompense for some of the negative decisions and bad choices that I had made, definitely to really say I'm sorry to my children, to my mother, to the community itself. And I do I'm sorry with my actions,
right,
more so than anything.
Rather than giving somebody a face saying, I'm sorry, and not putting no action behind it.
Yeah, live right and do the next right thing. And in doing that, you know, just give back, give to others what's been freely given to me. Have hope, very optimistic, and keep my feet on the ground. You know?
What's Tim?
What's that?
So, what organization are you a part of? Or are you a part of?
Yeah, I'm with the Empowerment Alliance as far as organization, right?
Okay. Tell us about the Empowerment Alliance. Right?
The Empowerment Alliance, man, was a brainchild of me and my partner, my wife, and really, it was when I got out of prison. I did 18 years here in Alabama, a couple of years in Texas, and I wasn't supposed to get out. Period. That's what the whole. And I saw the psychological warfare that was set on me with this time and with the type of living condition we put in. And as I'm looking at it, and it could take you to a barbaric state. So you get into those situations in those prisons, and you can lose yourself. Well, that's when I hunkered down, got a little tough, and got to reading what the word is saying. The word, to me, started becoming how my life was. So the Empowerment Alliance really started in prison. Okay. I was a guy that, you know, was studying and I always had the faith that I was gonna get out. And people was like, okay, how you can even think that? Do you know what you did? You know, man, I don't care about that. God is bigger than all this. And if I believe and have faith, how can it not happen? But you know, just like in all the stories, people have what they say, but you don't believe it. Then what happened is I started meeting younger guys. I started doing GED program, teaching GEDs, helping guys get their education. I got into substance abuse programs where you go in and you check yourself out. Now, I wasn't really addicted in the substances as far as, you know what I'm saying, cocaine, crack, anything like that. I was more addicted to the lifestyle and the way I was living. So the money was a big thing. And being able to sit on top of the world and just dictate. So one of the things I had to learn is to humble myself. Prison will put that in you. But how do you humble yourself, keep your moral values, and keep goal setting to where you want to go amongst all this negativity? You had some people in prison that did that. And we were the one that got together and we had a clique of dudes that read the book, that was in the law library, that went to the church, that gave to other people that needed.
Right.
So as we doing that, we know we're living better. And we helping people out there. So upon my release in 2014, all was on my mind is, okay, I need to get out here and get something going.
Right.
Let me see what's out here to help me. I went to a couple spots, I ain't gonna mention their name, but I went there to see could they help me. Now, mind you, I went to prison at 28.
Okay.
I came out at 48.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, I done aged out of the program.
Right,
What
right.
the hell? I ain't been on the street. You know what I'm saying? What the hell?
Yeah.
So I'm tripping. I'm like, all I can see is me picking up a pistol. All I can see is me getting back into certain things. I can't do that. I done went too long for this. So I came up, started thinking. I started a personal training job. I started that, getting that, because I worked out all the while I was in prison. So I took that and put that into play, manifest that into something I can use from there. Got with one of the other partners, we started a trucking company, did that. And through the trucking company, we started the empowering lives. But before then, when I first got out, to even go get any type of solace, any type of peace within myself, I had to always go to, they got Monday night meetings at OAA.
Okay.
And I would go to the Monday night meetings. Because at that Monday night meeting, coming out of prison and coming amongst all the people that, it's so many different things that hit you: shame, guilt, survivor's remorse, because all your partners gone. Nobody, I don't have nobody that I rightly was doing this with, that's here. So, you know, you go through a lot of things, and being around people, just like in Alcoholics Anonymous, something like that. When you be around people that have gone through the same thing you've been through, it gives you a sense of camaraderie and a sense of belonging, that I can talk to you. I can tell you about what I'm going through. I don't feel as icky. You don't look at me like I ain't, oh, you been in prison. You don't look at me like that. You look at me like a human being, because you understand it. And then going through all that, you learn how systems work. And then when you see a system that's constantly trying to dismantle you, take it out of you.
It ain't always the other people.
No.
Sometimes it's us.
Now, I'm talking, I said the system.
All
When
right,
you
right.
get into a system,
All right.
the system is set up to do certain things, but the system cannot do these things unless the people that's in the system actually follow through with it.
Right.
So if I see something wrong in the system that's inhumane, am I going to do that?
Right.
I would, but you got people that do.
You got people with that.
So, you know, I'm seeing that. So I'm saying we got to do something about this, because this don't make no sense. Because I'm seeing a revolving door coming into these prisons, and they all young. As I got older,
so they tricked off the streets, and then they trick when they get in prison.
And if you don't have a strong mentality, what's
Most
going to
of them
happen is you're going to fall to the bullshit for real. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have guys like me and other guys that we're not, to give them those beacons of light throughout their journey. To say, hey man, you can do it. Even though, man, I used to be dude been there when I first got there. See a dude did 20 years. I was like, oh Lord, 20 years, but he looked like he 12. But I mean, look good. But the thing is, he ain't nothing that a poison. But what are you doing with that? So I said, well, we got to figure out something to do with that as we come out here. So I decided that I would be my first participant in the empowerment lines, and that was to help me get on my feet. So I treated myself as a participant. I went and got my ID. I took myself to get my license, I tried to register to vote. Now when I went to try to register to vote, they were like, "Oh, you can't vote." But hey, I get all this time. I'm like, man, why I can't vote?
And that's a problem with a lot of men too.
Problem, cause voting is part of my citizenship. Oh, you can't do that cause you did it. I did that and I paid for it. Why can't I vote?
Right.
So that became one of the biggest campaigns for empowerment lines. Restoration of the vote. And then learning, as I learned that it was a thing called moral turpitude and all this stuff that wouldn't let you vote. But they was doing it willy-nilly. They let people decide what was this and that. It was all messed up. So I got in on the lawsuit. Back up. Along with OAA, I used to do a lot of my volunteer work for the community at Greater Birmingham Ministry.
Okay.
And at Greater Birmingham Ministry, you know, I passed out groceries. I did just go and help. I'm finna give back because my whole thing was I got to give back.
Gotcha.
I owe. I owe.
Yeah.
No, I tell everybody I felt I owe because I did a lot of this.
Right.
Okay, so and giving back, I've done several interviews at different places. I did Soledad O'Brien. I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The matter of fact, but then the series she do, I was on that.
Yeah, I remember that.
All this about the vote, and then I got into OAA through the violence. Now I've always dealt with violence and reentry and all that, but what happened was when we always said we want unity. Everybody said we need to work together. We need to work together. So I got an organization. Everybody had an organization trying to do this, trying to do that. So OA ended up getting the Hospital Violence Intervention Program. Now I'm good at this. You know what I'm saying? I'm really good. I know I'm good because I did this in prison with no formal education. I'm doing stuff. You know, so I said I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna try. But everybody was saying, you don't want to work with these people. You don't. And I'm fresh out of prison for real. You know, I don't know nobody. So they a lot of negative talk. I said, why are we negative amongst each other? So I went to prayer. I go in my closet. I said, okay, God, what's up? He said, man, go ahead. And I applied for the job. And in the grand fashion of somebody who really want to see unity, they didn't have no animosity, nothing like that. Nothing what people were saying.
Right.
So now you got unified purposes and goals to make it better. Instead of running around, I want this, I want that, I want it. No, we work together. Because all this need to come together so we can make it together. We can't do it apart. And that's what the empowerment line is about. If we empower each other by alliance with each other, we all.
I think if we had more people that would link up, like OAA, different organizations, we can make a big impact in our own community. Therefore, when other people come, you know, they gotta have permission. I mean, see, so we have so many people like a lot of the churches, a lot of they try to come in our communities, but they successful because they already got everything together. We have the resources, we have the knowledge, we have the strength, we have the numbers, but we don't come together like men. So like, I have a friend, right? And she can put an empowerment, I see her on here, K-More the brand, Tan. She can put an empowerment event together, right? Most of the women in the city can put an empowerment event together, and it's amazing. The stuff that she puts together is amazing, right? But the men in our community, they are ego driven. So they like, it's the egos getting, you know, I ain't gonna mess with Tim cause, you know, last week he spoke. And you know, they could let me, if this is Tim's passion and he can speak on it, let him speak. It might not be your time. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of stuff I feel like don't work, because a lot of people just, it's about ego. It's about who wants to be on stage.
I mean, I see all that. I agree with that. But the thing about it is, who needs to be on stage?
That's why I say it's not their time at that moment.
So the thing is, say for instance, OAA. they get denied for a specific thing that's going to help the community in an astronomical way.
Mm-hmm.
They put out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even know she had a director until today. I'm gonna tell you why. I have worked so close with Dena, and she has called on me. She has had me to do haircuts. We have taken young men on trips to where we took them to, something that I put together. We took them to Dave Buster, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she got her guys together. So to be honest with you, I always thought Dena was OA. I thought that was,
Man,
so
she is now.
I mean, she is, but what I'm saying,
but it's so much more.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, and I never really knew what it was until she introduced it to me, right? And she just been working so hard behind the scenes for OAA. Like I said, I didn't know,
Bro.
Because for one, let me interject. It's really not about the title as much as it is about the mission, the vision.
Right,
and
right.
when you were talking about the men and you guys with egos and things of that nature, my thing always, they'll tell you, they probably get tired of hearing me say it, it's always about the main thing. See,
Right.
Like when I call you, it's about the thing, and you answer the thing. Yeah, you answer Dena because this thing. You didn't cash out me money and be like, look, bro, this man needs some clothes. I need a belt. He finna go to work. What size? I mean, it's just so many different things, and there's a choice few that, and it's a wonderful feeling for me in particular, based on the multiple things that I pretty much did folks business and had myself into. But to be able to know that you can call Tim and you've been in all day long and say, well, I need you downtown just to have a community conversation. Right. At 6:30, Dena, I mean, those things, to call you and say, hey, and this has been like not on a typical Monday through Friday. It's been like, I'm on my way back with these children and I need to stop and look, what time you need, I'll be by the shop then. This could be Sunday. You will show up for me, you know what I'm saying? And not for me, but for the purpose of whatever it is.
About what it's for, right?
And so with all that being said, I hate titles, and anyone know it. And I tell people I'm just a servant, and I look at people and take them for where they are. I look at what the solution could be in their lives, and how to facilitate that. Where is it? Because a lot of people say, well, somewhere in that book says that my people perish by lack of knowledge. Sometimes you can give them the knowledge, but without the experience or them seeing some things, then they'll reject some of the help. But does that stop us from trying to drop seeds and water some? No. And you said something earlier about the men. Where are the men? I know that there's some great men. Right now, in this day and time, my quest is to community build. There's some things coming, and we're going to get the brother Jacoby Williams here so that you can have a conversation with him as it relates to some wonderful things that he's going to be doing. But our thing right now is to get community involved, be community minded, be community focused, because at the end of the day, it's about the next person. It's about that person. You know how many fights I've had to break up? I'm in people business all in Walmart. A guy is about to jump on his wife and girlfriend or whomever. And I'm like, brother, can we just show these folks in public that we really do like and love each other? Right. Because of what is happening in urban America, because of what is happening within our communities that's populated by black people, right? Not so much as what's happening outside of it, not so much as the systemic things that we know is erected, you know what I mean? But like everyday people that you see in passing by and things of that nature. And we just have to be, as him, as a professional, an interrupter. And without fear. Because I believe when you do anything in love, but it's your tone, it's your approach, and I believe in a higher being. You know what I mean? It goes before. I'm moving without fear. If you got me here in this moment, it's for some reason or another, right? So, and it's just us doing our part, and I think that's the thing that I appreciate about Tim. It's all about doing the part, right, and showing up in the Joker shows. And no fear. Oh, without fear. Right. Oh, without fear.
What can we? I'm gonna tell you. I mean, y'all know this anyway, and y'all like this anyway too. I don't do barbershop talk. If we talk about it today, so what's the next solution? What we gonna do next? So what can we do to catch some of these young men? Some of them lost, but to catch some of these young men and start training them and teaching them. What kind of program would you come up with?
Self-check. The men have to check themselves first before you can check anybody. Cause see, one thing I've learned, these young guys, they see the flaw in the older men. They ain't sitting up here respecting it. They look like okay, but they know you flawed.
Right.
So you have to check yourself.
Right.
What type of man are you? And then you have to check yourself when you go around these women that got these sons. What type of stepfather are you? You know what I'm saying? I've been a stepfather since I got here. The rule is from 14 to 25, loving him. Not hating him because he in the house.
You know, some men.
Man, I'm trying to tell you now. I'm trying to tell you, man.
Some men.
So it's a lot of things when the
It's
solutions come.
It's his house.
We're trying to look at what we need to tell them.
Right.
Now, first, you go to that man in the mirror. It's got to be a hero in the hood somewhere. So it got to be a hero in the house first. We got to start being the hero we're looking for. Then we can become what they need. We can't become what they need with this terrible thinking that we got already. Because if we can't get together as men to do nothing, what the fuck what can we tell them? We can't even get together to talk about what we need to do. And what can we tell? They looking at us like, man, ain't nobody studying that. And then you can't be.
And these young folks, hold on, let me tell you something. I saw a lady say this, and I done looked at it so many times, and it's true. She said, the teachers are scared of the superintendent. The superintendent is scared of the school board. The school board is scared of the parents. The parents are scared of the children, and the children ain't scared of nobody. See, a lot of these young people, they ain't scary. So you can't boo them like that.
I mean,
but just like you said, when you gotta check yourself first, so they see the flaw. When you come into them trying to check them as a man, and they like, man, come on.
Because they see you, and the more I've seen with the kids I work with, and a lot of these kids have been through adverse situations. I've been through adverse situations.
Right.
I came through trauma.
Right.
I lived through trauma. All I knew was trauma. So when I see them, I see myself. So as I'm looking at them and looking at that fire that was in them, that makes it seem like it's not fear. That fire is not, I don't care. That fire is, I don't have an opportunity to care. This is all I got.
But when they meet somebody like you, you see that in them, you're able to talk to them.
I'm able
not talk at them.
Let me show you how this works. Let me show you how it works. This is how it works.
Okay.
When I get at them, the first thing they do, and the first thing now is interested. Okay? Not because I'm talking to them, telling them anything, because I'm having a general conversation. And I'm asking questions. I'm doing what we call active listening.
Active listening.
I like that. Okay, I'm actively listening to what they're talking about. Because the biggest thing we have to do, and Dena says this all the time, along with everybody, is what do they got to say? We want to go in and tell them what to do. We don't know what they're doing to tell them what to do.
Right.
We got to listen.
Hold on, let's go back. Active listening.
Active listening.
All right, now go ahead and say what Dena said, because I like that. That was.
Active
I need that to be put back out there.
Active listening. And active listening, you have to listen to what they have and what they have been going through in order for you to give them any type of wisdom that you can impart. But the wisdom that's being imparted has to be wisdom at the level that they need to be at. Right. So you have to know who they are. Right. So when I get to know them and talking to them, I see the part of me that they at right then. Okay. Oh, they at this part right here. Okay, now at this part, he in love with a little girl. At this part, he might think something. He insecure, he need it. So look at it. What you think about this? And all of a sudden, you see the light come on. And the light don't come on because I gave them this marvelous idea. They already had it. Yeah, right. I just regurgitate what they were saying. They gave me the answer, and I gave it back to them.
But you didn't go, see, man, yo, man, what you need to do this. And see, you missed the whole thing.
No friction. No friction. Yeah. No friction.
They in love with a girl, but you come, see what you need to do. You try to give them so much knowledge.
And then you don't even know
what you're doing is you're giving them, in our cases, 50 years of experiences and mistakes. And you want them to understand what you're saying from your point of view, and that's something they've never seen before. So what works is that you remember where you were at 14, right, and what you were going through. They brought him a young man the other day, 17 years old, and of course, some things, and we need somebody to talk to him and everything like that. So we do a tag team, and we don't know that that's what we're doing. I'm so grateful for the men at the office. We do a tag team. Of course, I'm a woman, right? So what I'm going to say to them is going to be different on how I'm going to sound. But I go ahead and make a disclaimer right away that I'm going to sound like your mother, right? I'm going to sound like probably a girlfriend that nags all the time, a sister, because I am a woman. And that sort of kind of started dropping their guards. And I say, so you're the youngest? And he said, yes. And I said, oh, okay. And well, what's going on? Because they're saying, well, you're talking about the mom, this and the third, and blah, blah, blah. He's getting old, and maybe he has a gun somewhere or whatever. And I said, oh, okay. I said, so he said, yeah, I'm the youngest. I said, oh, okay. So how many brothers do you have or something like that? He said he doesn't have it. And I said, there lies the problem. He's 17 years old. He's in a house full of women. I asked where his dad was. He wasn't there, not in it. So you're 17 years old. You're going through whatever life changes that men go through. We're not going to even talk about the climate these days and all of that. We're just going to generalize this, right? I'm a woman that don't understand a man. I've never been one before. I can tell you what we go through. They say we smell ourselves and all of these things, but I've never been a little boy that's trying to navigate life, figure life out, trying to grow into maleness and think just because I'm the age of a man that should be an honor.
You're the man of the house.
And it's not that. And no one's listening to him. Because we women, once we start, we're not going to stop. But no one's
because you think you know what he's going through.
And then I'm going to deal with him from my past experiences with me.
Right.
Yeah, he's no longer my little boy. You know what I'm saying? Now he's a young man, and how I feel about men, it may be this, and this. So now I'm projecting that on him. Yeah. Right. So then it becomes about me.
So wait. So you're dealing with a young man, right? And you're yapping at him.
Yeah.
But then you're going to put all of what you done went through with me, and so now you think you know what a man that went through because you dealt with me. So you're going to put all that on him.
And I'm going to tell him what he's supposed to be doing.
As a man at that age.
And then if I ask him a question after I probably talked for about 30 minutes. So what you say? What you got to say? And then he's looking at me. See, he checked out.
He really wanted to, he's checked out. He really wants you to go on.
Into the conversation though. And I wouldn't let him say that.
Yeah.
And now that I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Then I asked him a question, then he look at me funny because he's checked out.
Yeah.
Now he's disrespectful. I'm going crazy at that point. So what I've learned through the men and the young men that have taught me over the years is to actively listen, be there in support of them. And then I let them know that, let me know when Miss Dena, I really don't want you to say anything. I just need somebody to talk to.
Just need somebody to listen to something.
And so if they walk in my office, they be like, what's going on? I'd be like, then, well, go ahead. But then I don't need you to talk to me today. I just want to say whatever you got to say. What I have to do is honor that because I honor him. And so I honor that. I just let him talk. They already know you're going to say some stuff I don't like. We're going to probably have some arguments along the way because we don't do youth mentoring as usual. We do life with our children, right? Because it's not a cookie cutter one size fit all, right? They may talk to you today like they may not tomorrow, but you need to always leave a space
just
where
a little room for
a safe space that they know they can come when they're ready and that they won't be judged, right? And we just have honest conversation. Now you do know you're gonna say stuff I don't like, right? And I'm gonna say some stuff you don't like. Now they understand that, like Tim said, now I'm checking me.
No judgments on them.
Yeah, but they know I'm checking me too because I'm not always right. I'm just older. Right, but I'm not always right. And I'm still growing.
Okay. I mean, that in a nutshell, as far as men go, we tend to want to overshadow, and that's really not the time because really it's their world. The way I look at it, these young ones, this is their world. See, but we're in a position to do what you need us to do, so when you get to our position, you can set it up for everybody else. See, we're your workers, we're your servants. We're here to open the doors that you need open. But if you don't talk to us, we can only go by what we know and what we think needs to be done. That's why the communication levels between men has to grow. But we have to listen. And then the more we listen, the more we learn, the more we adapt and form ourselves into the unified men that we need to be, because we understand. Another thing that I've realized through studying, and I did a lot of studying in prison, but I realized that throughout slavery, I'm started slavery, but no, we go back further. When you get to slavery, they start taking things away from men and women. Now, don't get me wrong, because they took us away from men, but they kept doing it. Take it. Then they call themselves getting it back, but they never gave back that warrior spirit. They give you God, they give you this. So, but we used to have to do rites of passage in Africa to go from boys to men. This was
when you turn 13.
This was the warrior spirit. This was the thing where we went and we gathered amongst each other, from the oldest to the ones that was getting initiated and bonded. And that secret move right there that we knew caused the respect factor to be amongst all the men that was involved in that ritual. Right. What I'm saying is, when we got here, you never get that war, because anything that seemed to be like war here for us puts us in a stigma. Oh, he's an angry black man. He's too aggressive. He this and that. So you douse them down. But these kids out here, they tired of being doused down. They tired of being broke. They tired of all that. They tired of grown men looking over them, acting like they can say or do whatever they want to. And then a lot of them get more money, and then here come the old dudes catering to them. Yeah. The older dudes, big homies.
Wait, catering to them, but still wants to respect you. Hold up, let's be real. So you buying weed from me. You buying dope from me. You out here hanging with us. But then you still want me to hold up now. I'm your elder now. Huh?
Where they do that? Huh? I don't see it.
I mean, come on now.
You gotta act accordingly.
You're gonna either be my elder or you're gonna be my friend.
Because we have to understand that we are the actual manifestation of them. This is when they see us, they see what they can become. Are you everything that they can become? We are what they need to be looking at to say, I want to be like that.
Self-check.
Not the football players, basketball players. They supposed to be looking at their neighborhood. When I was growing up, being a professional basketball, football player, it was nice to look at. But you didn't have those people. The people we looked at was your dad, the principals, the teachers, the coaches. You know what I'm saying? The people that was right there, accessible to you. Right. See, when they're accessible, I can ask you a question. But when they're not accessible, I'm looking at the social media and I'm saying, oh man, I'm gonna be like, oh, blah, 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 whatever they're gonna be like. You can't ask this person why he doing that.
And you only see a part of his life.
So you assume through your mind that this is why he's doing it. So you make up a scenario so you can be like him. And a lot of times that scenario is killing. A lot of times that scenario is robbing. A lot of times it's selling dope. A lot of times, though, because they're looking at it, injecting it in their mind.
So now, who they look up? Really, if you haven't been to prison, if you ain't been to jail and then prison, what's wrong with you, bro?
See, but they looking at that wrong.
I know, but I'm saying that's who they glorify. They glorify if you robbing, if you snitching, if you killing, then so they glorify, they doing it the wrong way. But our men have taken a step back. They have taken a step back. From the household to the churches, the men have taken a step back and said, it ain't my problem.
Well, believe it or not, it is.
It is.
I'm saying
it is.
From when I stepped out, from when I was in prison, seeing these young guys coming here being losing their life. And I'm not even talking about the bull that go on in there. I'm talking about drugs. I'm talking about they so high they can't even walk.
In prison, right?
Man,
the julep that they get,
they get anything they want in there, they can get out here. Right. But the depression caused them to go through that. Cause if you take a kid 18, 19 years old, you give him life without parole. Right. Plus 50.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
The judge gave Larry life for 800 years.
Come on, man.
The man said, I have to die and come back as Larry 8 more times.
Well, it's a psychological effect.
Oh, yeah.
Off the bat, and dealing with men that's coming home after long-term incarceration and the psychological effect and our expectations that we have as a society on those said individuals without taking all of the facts into account, right? And just throw them out here ill prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You know, decades have passed by, especially now. That's what we're seeing is that those young men that went to prison 20, 25 years ago, in between the ages of 16 and maybe 21, that's coming home at 38 and 45 years old, that we expect them to have a career, just take off and don't reoffend anymore. They're lost. Right? They're afraid. There's a traumatic experience that takes place with post-incarceration at that stage. They don't have a clue of where I'm going and how I'm getting there. They're embarrassed. They're ashamed. Yeah, they know. I don't know anything about social media. I don't know anything about the phone, but there's so many other things that they don't know that life is passed by. And what I've found is that many of them do not have children. See?
So they don't have nobody to love.
They don't have nobody to love. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm gonna die while they was in there, everything.
And they don't have any offspring. They don't have anything
No
that they're
offspring,
leaving of worth in the earth
But
realm.
when you was in there, you had everything you need.
I
You
mean,
ran the block.
and the thing is, even in
Well, no, you just succumb to the environment. Yeah.
I mean, but in your mind, I'm saying.
in your mind.
No, in our mind.
Yeah.
See, no, in society's mind, the man have or the woman have everything they need because you're in there, we got your bed, food, and this and that.
No, I'm saying I done met some that it's like it's hard for them to come back and be out here and you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nowhere to stay.
It is hard, but it's not those things that affect them as much as the emotional, social, and mental support that they need coming
In or
out.
out?
Out
Oh,
here.
okay, yeah.
Right, you're saying they don't have anything. It's not the physical things. They are capable of eventually getting them. The hardest part about the physical things is understanding that it is a process to get there. But it is the emotional and the mental and the social thing that takes
So
place.
basically, that's why it's good for them to get around people like y'all.
Well, see,
So y'all can.
Well, you had a gentleman years ago, and I appreciate you for that. The only thing that he knew was shining shoes.
The one that was in my shop. Okay.
And that you gave him his little spot. He had a place that he can call home. He felt comfortable.
Well, let me speak on that.
You know.
Let me speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
I did. And upon taking him home one night, I realized who he really was. And before he left, he had it. He had it. He had everything, money, everything, right? And I said, man, it was a dude. And he's like, no. I said, man, he looked just like you. And we got a little further up the road. He said, man, that was me. Right? But, like, reason I said, let me speak on that. Church of the Highlands. They was visiting him in prison. When he came home, Church of the Highlands came to my shop one time and visited him. And they left. They said, we got you. They came back, they had vouchers for clothes. They helped him get an apartment through, what's the guy's name, had the program. I think his name was Tim too, right? What was his name? It was some, I can't think of his name. Anyway, but they helped him get an apartment. Then they helped him, because I had to take him to get all this stuff. They helped him get, they put food all in his cupboard, all in his refrigerator. They had to get him an extra large bed. They helped him get his license, helped him get a truck, and then they came back every month and made sure he had what he needed as far as like, they only helped him get furniture too, but make sure he needed like far as food and all that, right? They came back every month and did this. And they came back like 2 months after that to make sure he had all the clothes, coats, everything that he needed. Then they gave him a stipend to come over there and speak to the young people about what he went through when he was in prison. They did this. So that right there was a support system. What y'all do is a support system. If we had more people, and I'm sure it is, that would really get out here and help people. And hey, we got you. We know what you're going through.
I'm telling you, all that's beautiful, but see, you have to realize a lot of times they got to want the support.
Yep.
See, these folks, a lot of times you come out of prison and your mental so scarred.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, man, you really hurting because you don't get to feel all that you done been through. Because in prison you either on fight or flight mode.
Right.
Constantly.
Right.
Okay? So you don't get to feel all your emotions out. Something more. Say you mentioned, I mean, my granddad passed while I was in prison.
Mm-hmm.
I grieved all of 30 minutes.
Because you had to be back on.
I mean, it's no off.
Right.
It's no off. You know what I'm saying? And you have to just walk with that. You have to trap that and say, hey, let's go. Because anything can happen at any time right there. It ain't no game. This is why we out here talking to you kids, because what y'all think is fun.
Ain't no off switch.
This ain't no game.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get
can't
worse.
Press
It ain't no redo.
Yeah.
Ain't no, hey, my bad. Ain't none of that.
Yeah.
Ain't none of that. And I done been through all type of, but ain't none of that. And you have to stand 10 toes down, period. But out here, you can alleviate that by making better decisions. All we ask you to do is make the decisions that's gonna make you a better person.
Right.
If you don't want that, then you just don't want to do that. That's on you. I mean, every decision out here has got to be made. So why not make one that's gonna benefit you? Why are we going through this? We shouldn't have to argue about you doing a better thing. Because see, if I thought that doing crime and everything that's going on, the robbing, killing, the dope, was beneficial, I'd still be doing it.
Right.
I stopped. I didn't stop because the money wasn't good. I stopped because the consequences were too great. And you do not have anybody that's solid.
And you also have to lead them to the options, you know, because I'm talking to a 19-year-old the other day, and I met him when he was about 14, and life has had its way. And he said, Miss Dena, but I had to start taking care of myself like that. He also talked about why they carry the sticks and the switches and everything. Because I do want to know this, and I know we can idealize about it. We're in a total different generation of people and all of that. We're in our 50s. They haven't even entered adulthood for real, right? And so all of these things, and so just listening to him.
What did he say about the sticks and switches?
He said, for one, they're without hope, right? That's one. A lot of them talked about the impoverished condition. One of the things that he wants to do more than anything is with the music part that he's doing is get out. He talked about that, and I asked him a question. I said, man, listen, I got a few connections here and there, I've named a couple states and all these kind of things. I said, and if there was a way that, because he said he wants to get a little money, because that's the only thing I'm trying to do this for is to get for a way out. I said, and I told him about the connections and places and stuff like that. And I said, if there was a way that you can go to any of these spaces, if you will, like, and that's your way out. That little man told me I'll leave right now. Just like that. He said, I'll leave right now. I said, wow. He said, but right now I'm on house arrest.
Most of the young people aren't gonna make it out there.
He said, I'm on house arrest. Right. I said, and I asked questions that I needed to ask, like, are there anybody's attached to it? You know, certain things. He said, no, ma'am. He told me what they were. So they are cases and charges that they're not dire. And if you're telling me if there was a way for you to get out, not just Birmingham, but whatever life situations are, I'm working to see how do I get that door to out, because I found a way out by way of incarceration, right? So when I came back, right, I was going to introduce the streets to who I used to be or who I had became. So I should be able to make a phone call and say, hey man, I got a 19-year-old. We're going to go here and let him go to these CDL classes over here. I need you to anchor him down. And I should be able to tell the judge, this is where you are. Keep him on the mountain because it's a tracking system anyway, wherever he is. And I need you to trust me for about 6 months with you, young man. Now there's also some cognitive things and all of that. But because we don't have an answer for them, we still blame them because we don't know what to do with them. Everything goes on the child. I got to go back a little further than that. The parents, the village, the community, this. But once we give up on them, based on whatever our personal thoughts are about them, you know, I have 2 grandboys, 3 and 5, well 4 and 5 now, right? And with 5 years going to be 6 this month. So they're cute. They're all of that. Life is beautiful in front of them. You know, all this. In the next few years, somebody's going to put a label on my children. And they're going to treat my children as that label.
Right.
And prayerfully, it don't manifest into a reality, right? But if you're treating them like the label, then you won't nourish them as these beautiful children that they are now. Nourishing, developing, and helping them be emotionally intelligent. Helping them have something in a way where they don't have to worry about a way out. Giving them a hope for a future, right? Those things. So it's real complex, the situation is. It's real complex. It's an individualized thing. They said they can have a ceasefire and still police will show up.
Well, see, I think when it comes down to the kids that are little boys and young women that I deal with, there's a lot of cultural things that they don't understand. They don't have an idea about it. A lot of identity things that they don't really understand about themselves. See, one thing about this society, we teach you the book stuff, we teach you the math, the English, we don't teach you how to live. We don't teach you how, you know, and we expect them to come in and know, you know, I know little children, babies, hit another baby, you know what I'm saying, just haul off a smacker. You know what I'm saying? You have to teach them, hey, that's not that. That ain't what you do. And then you have to teach them how do they check themselves? How do they look at themselves? How do they think? Do they really know how to think? You know, I'm seeing a lot more times that guys get frustrated because they can't think past a certain level. You know, you can be talking to them and you can see the frustration building. And I have to say, hey, okay, calm down. What are you getting frustrated about? I ain't getting frustrated. Yes, look at yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because they think you don't see them. But you seeing them when they don't see themselves. So getting to know who you are. And that's a constant thing you have to remind these young guys. Who are you, man? Who are you? Where do you come from? When you walk in a room, this is what my folks taught me. When I walk in a room, my whole family walks in that room. And I have to represent that whole family when I walk in that room. So I have to have respect for everything that's in me genetically to understand how powerful I am as a man. And as a black man, the power that is installed in us instinctively and spiritually, I have to understand and walk in that. And those are things that keep me as a black man or a man of color strong and on the path of going this way, because you have to decide what do you know, who you with. You either here or you there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these young boys don't even know who they with. So they gravitate to those groups. They gravitate to that love, that what they think is love, but it's not love.
Well, who poured into them though? See,
that's what
I was
going to say.
In that, you know,
it had to be the pouring into is about, like you said, the village, the folk, but who poured into them?
That's the thing. There's a breakdown in there somewhere.
Yeah,
those children are not getting what generations and generations before.
So we always had a little colloquialism that said, you know, it starts at home, and the next one is, you know, it takes a village. That's the little thing that we done took on. Okay. My thing is, what if it don't start at home?
What if it can't start at home?
What if grandmama didn't know? She couldn't teach her daughter. Daughter couldn't teach the children. And it goes on and on and on. So now, if you're not getting it at home, so the village is the next thing that's supposed to say, well, hey, come on, we got you. So, right? But guess what? The village said, it ain't my problem. So now, he's not getting anything poured into him, so the streets poured into him. So now,
you got 159 murders a year.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what that is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. See, the thing is, the village, by saying you don't, it's not mine. That's where you're messing up, because it's all about a problem.
Right.
Everybody has to
It's
deal
our
with it.
responsibility.
I ain't gonna say problem, it's our responsibility. Because these are our children.
Right.
We have raised these children. We have been around while these children were growing, and we saw things. And you can't tell me no life of these children that going through these things, that going through that somebody didn't see something wrong with that.
Well, the first thing is you got to admit to that. You got to own it. The community has to own it. That we have failed our generation of today. You know, they didn't get it at home. You was the neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
You could have poured into the child without disrespecting the parent and the mother. Now you was gonna have to extend some love and some kindness toward her, right? Because why? She on that dope. She got folk running in and out the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They already stuck out here in Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
You know, generations of them. That's all they seeing out here in the sleeping giant, right? But if you're taking the time to invest, and someone invested in us, you know, they went beyond what they saw and how they felt about the situation and the doom and the gloom and and man, I just can't believe these children, all that. It wasn't none of that. It was what it was.
But what if you invest in children, right? Because see, some parents ain't on dope. Some ain't on it. Some of them just working, or some of them just sitting at home and they not pouring to the church. They not paying attention to the church. So now you got a child. It's just what he's gonna do. It's just in it. It might not be in the immediate DNA, right? Because some of these children come from good homes. They're just trying to be something that they're not,
And that's
they get caught up.
behavior.
It's called learned behavior.
Learned
Because I heard you say something about, you know, a little child slap. Guess what? A white child and a black child can play. They don't know nothing about racism.
Right.
They playing together. It only comes when it's a learned behavior that, oh, you ain't supposed to. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I was watching some the other day when they asked the little white girl about a doll. Well, it had three little white faces and two black faces, and they asked which one is bad. Went straight to that last black face. Which one is good? Went straight to the white face. Right? It's really a learned, but that's what they think. So, in a lot of little black girls, they feel like a black doll is better.
Well, that just.
They feel like a white doll is better.
That's conditioning. You know what I'm saying? So in conditioning, you know what I'm saying, with the propaganda machine that is, you know, the media.
Well, before the conditioning, you know, there's no training because some young black girls, they feel like that they're not beautiful enough.
And where did that come from?
Well, it's just your thinking around because nobody taught you. So it's just your thinking that's the pretty doll.
Conditioning, brother. The way I'm looking at this,
it's a quiet.
say Willie Lynch. Let's take Willie Lynch theory.
Okay.
Okay, the Willie Lynch theory said if you teach me this, after a while you ain't got to teach them nothing. You go do it. Where you think we at?
I mean, we here.
Okay, so it's
also you take, and I was messing with my friend the other day, and I said, you see that shirt you got on? I said, I'm gonna show you what they did during slavery, because she had on Levi Strauss shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You had one man with a whip with the horse going that way, right? You had another man with a whip with the horse going, and it was a pair of jeans. Well, that's what they did in slavery. They hit the horse go that way. They hit the horse go that way. But the man standing here tied to both of the horses.
split in half, yeah.
So it's like, now you done did this to the biggest one, like you got the biggest muscular one in the group. Oh, you ain't gotta say nothing else to the rest of them.
But see, we went on, and this is showing you it's all sides.
Oh, right.
We did a 10-day, I don't know what we called it. We called it sojourn, Sankofa sojourn. Sankofa.
What does that mean?
Sankofa means you have to look back to go forward. It's an African saying. So in Sankofa, you go back to your history to understand what you need to be doing to the future.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a Sankofa sojourn.
Right. So you say it again?
You have to look at your past in order to understand your future, or you either have to reach back to teach the youngins, so they won't repeat what's the falsehood that have been given to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but all of it's about looking back and then moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So we went through, because all you heard about is how they did the slaves, how they did this, but you never hear about the rebellions.
Mm-hmm.
You never hear about the fighting back.
You had some rebellion.
You had a whole lot of them. a whole lot of up and down this coast right here, from North Carolina down to Florida. The Seminoles, all the Seminoles was run away. You know what I'm saying? All this thing was going on. We went to the Gully Geechee Island.
Yeah.
They didn't play down there.
The Geechee people.
We went to
That's South Carolina, right?
Right. We went through all these places where you had, what his name was, Box Willie. You ever heard of him? He mailed this stuff to freedom in a box.
Oh, yeah, I have. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Denmark Facia. You had a lot of these different things, these rebellions that they know about, and then the ones that we don't know about. And we took these kids and we showed them that throughout slavery, we didn't just sit back and accept anything. We were constantly fighting for our freedom. But those are the stories not told. So when you get kids out here that's saying, well, hey, we ain't got no choice. Basically, we ain't got no hope. They can't see themselves coming out of the tyranny that they're already in, but we done came out of it before. We can't be stopped if we focus on what we need to be doing. Now,
that word if.
It's a big word.
It's in there.
Yeah, but you can do it. And if you do it, and then that's all about your decision. That's about that man in the mirror. I can't sit and say, okay, if all is good. No. When I say if, I'm talking about me. Look in that mirror, if. Tim is the if. So when I look in the mirror and I say, Tim, if you do this, talk to that kid, you can help that kid, I go do what I have to do.
You go do.
I go do.
That, but see, that's the point. You go do.
So let's
but
take.
a lot of men talk in their mirror, and that's it.
But they ain't the one we talking to.
Yeah.
We talking to the ones that would go do. See, one thing about it, throughout, I'm gonna go through a little biblical stuff here. God ain't never used a whole bunch of people to do a whole big thing. No. It don't take many. It just takes the spirit to be floating through the air with the people that's doing it. And the more powerful the spirit in the person, the more people that person gonna affect. So it don't matter about the number. Just the right people go into that mirror and say, if I do this, I'm gonna go do it. Right. And go do it. That's all we need.
So in essence, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the ones that the winning did. You know, the ones that's not
that's willing to go do it.
Exactly.
Right, and the ones that's not playing behind Facebook and social media and getting their likes and their clicks. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to click on 1,000 different things that's negative that continues to promote the propaganda thereof. But those that are hopeful, those that are doing the work, those that want to do the work, they really may be reluctant in doing the work because they feel like nobody else is doing it per se, you know what I mean? And they're beat down in this endeavor, you know what I'm saying? So we're looking for the one more, you know, the one more that we're not concentrating. If we were concentrating on those that wasn't, you understand what I'm saying? We would have shut down just as a person and one that we'll do and have been doing a long time ago. Right? And so we haven't asked anybody's permission, and neither have we begged and asked them for money.
Saying is,
we gone. You know
I'd rather ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
And that's what we do.
Right.
Yeah, right. Because we believe in this.
Right.
I mean, we believe in the little men and women that don't seem to have a future and that's feeling like they're hopeless, right? We are, and we're doing as best we can every day, all day. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah. And it can get overwhelming, right? But do we stop? No. You know what I'm saying? Do we stop? We still have to remain hopeful that help is on the way. We still got to keep pushing. We still got to keep
Guess what? If help don't never come,
help already there.
Still got to keep going.
No matter what, your help come every day when you get there.
Yeah.
Now the more help come.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at it like this. It don't, man, listen.
You know what I mean? The people I reached out to about 1 or 2 young men or women that need a job or internship, they are high school students. You know, there's nothing else for them to do over the next 8-9 months but graduate. But these children are saying, I need a job. And guess what? Somebody said, well, you know they hiring this such a... No. What happened to the, hey, I got such and such. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, this the way
that's the village concept.
This the way I feel.
You feel me?
I'm counting on y'all saying thing like when it comes to me making a phone call. If you don't ever say, well, hey man, you know, I know where they hiring at, and if you don't ever make that phone call to me, I'm still gonna make sure I get that person to that place you told them to go to, right? That's just me.
I know.
If you say, well, if you say, well, hey, I got a young man. If it's me taking him out to the Lawson State, I don't want to tell him, well, go out to Lawson. No, that ain't good enough for me.
That's what we got
I'm gonna take him out
from.
You know what I'm saying?
You doing what we call a soft handoff.
That's
Hey,
what we. But that's what we
that's
got
what
to
I-
build.
that's what I like to
We
do.
got to build
that's
from
all.
it.
It's all about the concern that you have as a citizen within a community that you want to get better. So if you see a pimple or a pothole in the road, they quick to call and say, hey, I got a pothole right. When you see a young man that needs something, you quick to shun him, clutch your pearls, and go on about your business. But you won't even ask this dude, what is the potholes in your life that I can help fix?
That's good.
What's the potholes in your life
That I can
that I can help
feel.
fix? That's cold,
good.
yeah.
That's good.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't even do that
Yeah.
because we're too busy thinking about, oh, it's mine. I need to do me. Yeah, I mean, you can
I don't like that. I'm sorry.
I got one thing.
I don't like that. I'm sorry.
Be the change you want to see.
Oh, ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt.
That's all.
You have to. You have to.
That's the one thing.
You have to be that total example. You have to really grab hold to it. But you have to be authentically who you are. One thing about these kids I noticed, don't come in with that old fake stuff.
Oh no.
You can't
Cause
come.
they listen.
Listen.
I attribute that to a Rottweiler. Let me tell you something about Rottweiler. They know when you fake or not. They know when you're scared or not. I mean, so when that Rottweiler sense that fear in you, like you said earlier, oh, you gonna see you get in their yard, but you ain't getting out.
Yeah.
That's like a Doberman. You can get in their yard, but you ain't gonna spit. So when they get ready to pounce on you, they already seen the fear in you. These young folks, they already seen it in you. They know you weak, right? And that's just real.
And
They know when you're real or not.
But the part that gets me is when you walk up on them, when you saying the things you say, and the people that don't like to get involved, then look at yourself. Are you real? So if they're saying that you're not real, then that should be a question you ask yourself. Even when you being teachers, students, I mean, teach a child the way you should go. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't want to listen, let it go. You've done what you're supposed to do. Hey man, don't do that. Man, I ain't got no. I'm through with it now. Because see, I planted the seed. I put it there. I'm only responsible for the part I'm responsible with. You know, the Bible says one plant, one water, God get the increase.
What I do understand is this right now. When you try to plant that seed, and he does that, it's a reason why.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they are faking, compensating for something. And when you get them by themselves, it's a whole total different story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't just stop right there.
No.
But
Right.
if
you got to go the distance. You got to go the distance.
But
if you planted
but
the
I'm
right
with bro
seed,
too now.
they
I'm
gonna
with bro
come
too.
back.
Yeah, I'm with bro too now because you can't just stay right there and just waste time on it. So just like you said, if you plant that seed.
But human beings are flawed.
One, of course.
So there's not a right or a wrong in neither one of you guys' thoughts or approaches, right?
Right.
But there's a certain thing called discernment.
Yeah.
Because in and of ourselves, we don't know when we shouldn't go the distance as you will and take one that lost them, and as you will and do some things, or there's something that showed itself, or there's a pit thing that's in your gut that says no.
But mind what I remember. Listen what I said.
Go ahead.
We all saying the same thing. What I said was, it's something that he comes. So when you get him by himself.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say when you get him by himself, that means a group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I said you can't not really waste time, you go on and help the other ones. You planted the seed, right? You already planted the seed. So when you catch him later on, and you working with these others, you catch him later on by himself, a totally different person because now he ain't in front of his friends. You came to him right now, you can find out there's some other stuff going on.
True.
So that's what I was saying when I said
That's
that.
exactly what I'm talking
Yeah, that so we all
we
kind of saying the same thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not leave them alone in a total sense.
No.
It's I'm not gonna force myself on.
Right.
And
I planted the seed. I'm not gonna force myself
I'm
on
gonna let you
But I
come.
hear so many.
and then I'll come back later on. You know what I'm saying?
That's been a
Now I'm gonna go home and help these right here, and maybe you'll latch on.
Exactly.
And guess what? If not, then when I catch you later on, man, you know.
And maybe I just hear it from a girl's ear, right? Because this is the first time I've been at a disadvantage. Because a lot of times I'm with all of the women,
Right.
and you have one guy in the mix, and they be like, "I'm sorry, man, that you got to hear all this." So I can
Right.
take this for the team. But so many of the men in my ear as a woman, it seems like the first little excuse they say is abandon ship and jump. Oh, he ain't want to do nothing. It's like,
Yeah, I don't-
wait,
I don't-
not you,
I don't-
and
I know-
not
I know, I'm
Tim,
saying I don't
'cause
like
I
that.
know both of you
Yeah,
guys.
that's what I'm saying. I don't
But
like
it's
that.
almost like their excuse and their auto, like Google it. It's like their auto. That's their auto exit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have that ready-made excuse not to pour into this child.
Because your
not to
heart
go-
wasn't in it in the first place. You didn't
Oh.
come in like Tim.
So
You didn't come in with that heart
So that begs
to
the
help.
thing that I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you guys, because I'm enjoying the conversation. Is a lot of
I'm
people
enjoying
keep reaching out and saying, Dena, what can I help you with? Right? I'm gonna ask, call us and tell us what you want to help us with, what you want to bring to the table, so that we'll know. Okay, such and such said, because I know what he gonna do. Or I pushed it to the limit, and he didn't answer. He did exactly what he just said and showed, right? Because I'm gonna try you, and the truth of it is, I'm not even gonna be mad with you when you don't do. You just want that to be scratched off your list. That's a no. Because I'm going to find and continue to look for and push the envelope and find the solutions that these young people and most of the people that we're dealing with, they don't necessarily have to be young, but anybody within our communities that are in dire strait. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we do on a day-to-day basis, right? And I'm going to yield there so that the men can continue to talk. And it sort of kind of feels good just listening, you know?
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna kind of end. But
Okay.
but I want to say this to the people. This will go on for how many months? You said you want?
I'm gonna run it all the way out of 2025. I'm going to a place, and they told me that I was gonna thrive in 2025.
All right.
And so I'm living like I expect life to be, not on all the hoopla that's going on. Yeah, I see the things and the signs and all of that, but I have today in this moment, right, that I need to be doing what I do today and in this moment. And when things change, right? I'm not finna
So
walk
what
in
we're gonna
fear.
do is
I'm not finna live in fear, and I'm not finna come up with an excuse for me not to do what it is that I'm supposed to be doing as it relates to being a service to our community and our people.
so
That's
it's
all.
something called a servant leader. That's part of it, being a servant leader. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run this maybe once a month or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes I won't be in on the conversation. Most times they'll run it. That's just because they've been through it. They know what to do. Sometimes I'll be here. Sometimes we have another speaker that'll be in with them. So this is what we're gonna do. And if you would like to comment anytime, you can comment, like and share, and do your thing. Tim, go ahead.
Well, I want to go as far as the men that say they ain't gonna do it and don't do it. A lot of those men are just to the point they don't have what they call a consistency. Okay, and then some of them is not just being consistent. Some of it is actually a play or a ploy. We map out. We're from the type of man I am. I can't go at this little dude and just say, hey, I need you to do this.
Right.
I got to get a buy-in somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the buy-in is shrugging me off and me saying, nah, all right, man, you ain't hitting no nothing. That was really the buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
See, but people around him look at it and say, man, why you treat him like that? But then he'll come all the way back around, and talking about the whole thing. Ego is a funny thing.
So wait. So at first he had a little ego.
The ego,
When you hit him with, oh man, you ain't talking about that. Go ahead, all right, you good.
it crushes.
Now you should. Now he like, dang, wait a minute, what? So now he come over, hey coach, can I talk to you for a minute?
Cause the ego
Yeah.
won't let him not find out what is this dude talk. See, it's all trickery.
Oh, I need a t-shirt.
You see what I'm saying? It's all about knowing who you're dealing with. I'm dealing with me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do stuff and people look at it and they say, well,
Because you used to be him.
I'm him.
Yeah.
I know what it takes to get him to turn around.
Yeah.
Now you might not see it that day,
Okay.
but guess what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess what?
But let's say this. You might not see it that day, but he saw the consistent, man, he keep coming back. He keep coming back to us. He keep coming being around us. So now
They
he watching it all the time. So when he said, oh man, you ain't talking about that anyway, go ahead. He already saw it. That was the buy-in, just like he said, he already saw himself in it. Like, dang, I used to be that same way. Right? But I'm gonna go over here. But he never stopped watching him either.
All right.
And he don't stop watching him.
Alright.
So he doing his thing with each year. They laughing, they having a good time. He like, he really want to come over there, but you see what I'm saying? I used to have a Bible study class at Bethel. And that's what I used to do, not knowing about the buy-in, it's just how I am. And so when I had the ones come in with the game, and man, but you came up here to the church. We ain't actually come up here, right? So when they get in the class and they want to be the tough guy, okay, tough guy. But I ain't paying no attention right now. So I'm talking to these over here. Who all want to go swimming? They raise their hand. He raised his hand too. Oh, you want to go swimming? Oh, okay. Let them go swimming. I pay for them to go swimming, right? It's 30 of them. So once I pay for them to go swimming, right? Now, the next time you come, I appreciate what you did, right? So now, the buy-in came. So now, when he by himself and he ain't got his friends around, you think I can talk to you about something? Yeah, man, anytime.
And that's the long game.
That's the long game. But sometimes the long game is the best game. Yeah.
And the thing is, believe me, they would beat you up by the long game because it seemed to be very, very rough.
Yeah, right.
But some people are born to be that type of person.
Right.
And some guys gonna come, some of the kids gonna come right to you.
Right.
And buy in automatically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some kids, they feel like they're being subjected to somebody who's taking their shine from them. Because most of those kids that sitting up there, that really the ego kids, are the kids that these kids look up to. But when you walk in, you the attraction now. So these kids run to you. Now that kid feeling some type of way because he got to,
so because all the children running to you.
Yeah, because that's a fan base.
Yeah.
That's where you get his likes from.
I used to have them come in, and it's for real, every week. It started off 1 or 2, and then 1 to crack. Oh, let's go. So they felt like, oh, this old dude. But when I ate them up, now, this ain't no lie. They'll come back next week. Okay. They'll come back next week and say, Q, I bet you won't crack on him. They done bought another one.
See what I'm saying?
And I promise you, this went on.
You building now.
Sometimes I would have anywhere from 25 to 45 children in my class.
I'm talking about you building.
Now they big now, you know what I'm saying? When I see them out, they cute, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, we gotta go to the battery now.
All right,
But
then.
I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all
But I
next
do
month.
want to say this to the community. Get ready for a community conversation with real people. We'll have real talk. We definitely want to bring the awareness to our community as it relates to the community violence. Not to talk about, what do you want to say, Tim? Not so much as all the negative part about this community. It ain't going on all day, but what do we do as a community in order to decrease the violence within our community?
That's
right.
I like
Give us a call and let us know what you want to do.
Let's talk about how we can serve our youth. Let's serve. And remember, before you say what they are not or what they can't be, let's look in that mirror.
Yeah.
Let's check ourselves out.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So we out here.
So no further ado.
Stand up, Birmingham.
No further ado. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors. I gotta take my time and say this because my engineer said. So shout out to Green Acres downtown, Green Acres Cafe downtown, Green Acres Cafe Ansley, Green Acres Realty Enterprise,
Okay.
AEG Entertainment, Yo Chef Surf and Turf,
Kashif.
Shout out to Kashif, 4 years. So congratulations on celebrating 4 years. I would like you all to try MamaNem. Yeah, try MamaNem. And Yo Mamas.
Yo Mamas.
We're gonna give Yo Mamas a shout out.
Chicken and waffle.
Yo Mamas, man, get the chicken and waffles. Those are my spots. So we got a new one that's coming very soon. Taste It. It's in Eastlake where the old Green Acres used to be. Go try it, taste it. So that's owned by Miss Kennedy. So with no further ado, we really appreciate you all.
Looks.
And Grand Looks.
And Bell's Bun.
And Alpha Bell Bun. See, that's why you need an engineer. Alpha Bell Bun. So when you get in trouble, call Alpha Bell Bun. That's one of our sponsors too. So with no
If you
further
don't
ado,
get in trouble, don't want to get in trouble.
if you don't get in no trouble, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you don't get in no trouble, if you need some help,
Yes, indeed.
call Tim, call Dena, and they'll help you get back on your feet.
We're gonna plug in.
They're gonna plug you in somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Chris Holloman, man. I called on him. I got to do this. I called at MamaNem. He's the owner of MamaNem. I called him. We got a man just got out, and Reverend Davis, First United Methodist Church. He put something together. Reached out. So we got with Chris Holloman. Chris Holloman's gonna hire this man for us and give him a job because he couldn't find no work. So I just wanted to shout out Chris, man. With all I had to do was say, hey, man. And just like that, he said, you got it. So tomorrow the man starts work, all black. And Reverend Davis is going to make sure his hours get turned in so that everything is going to work out. So we really appreciate Reverend Tremaine Davis and Chris Holloman, man. Two stand-up guys, man. But all it took was just a conversation, a relationship. And now we able to get one man a job.
That's good.
All right.
That's good.
So thank y'all. We appreciate you. And you all have a good night.
All right, thank you.
Hold on.